Good evening, gentlemen. Hope all's well with everybody. It's Monday evening. It's May the 1st. It's a bank holiday Monday. And if you're watching this on replay, then hello, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome. Okay, so as you may have noticed, my internet isn't here just yet. My new internet. Just to clear things up, you know, I've uploaded a couple of videos, but I filmed those on my mobile phone, and I can actually still do that. But it's the live streams that suffer because of the lively internet. But I believe, hopefully, this is going to be the last stream with lousy internet. So anyway, Colonel Labarde, good evening. Good evening to you. A nice weekend. Well, it's like anything else, it just flies by. Smooth operator, hello to you. Nice to hear from you. Stephen Gamble is here. Nice to hear from you. Hasta la vista, evening, Ed. Okay, and hasta la vista to you, baby. Okay. Seamus Doherty, nice to hear from you, mate. Barry from EastEnders, hello. Good evening. Lovely background. This is very urban. You know, this is like, you know, if I was one of the Sex Pistols, I'd have a background like this, very urban. Sean, nice to hear from you. David Eisenberg, good evening. AG, I hope you're well, mate. Just watching the snooker. Oh, I'm not interrupting anything, am I? Smooth operator. Smooth operator, have you tried connecting your laptop to the 4G on the phone for better connection while you wait for the end? Well, my phone, I live in southwest of England, and I've got Vodafone, and I can hardly get a signal on that. It's all rubbish. I'm just waiting on my new internet. Let me just say that my internet should be arriving tomorrow. The guy's coming around there tomorrow. Hopefully I don't miss him or nothing untoward happens. And assuming that, you know, the new internet is connected tomorrow, then it will be connected. It'll be up and running at midnight tomorrow night, which means that I'll probably miss tomorrow's. I will miss tomorrow's stream, but I'll probably do my first stream with the new internet, hoping that everything goes well on Wednesday evening. So we'll see anyway. Not build me up. So Delayed Dave. Delayed Dave, yeah, I'll put him on the screen there. That's because that sounds really interesting. Delayed Dave, hello from Pristina, Kosovo, Eddie. I know, Paul, you're always well. Pristina, Kosovo, good for you. Good for you traveling. I'm thinking maybe, you know, somewhere around that region, you know, for the summertime for me. Okay, well, I hope you're having a good time, mate. Anyway, let's see. Okay, Borders Boy is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Sceneries, hello, Eddie and everyone. I do believe in fairies. Yeah, but do you believe in Father Christmas? I don't. Never bloody brings me anything. David Eisenberg, I bet you can't wait for the new internet. That's right. I can't wait for the new oh jeez, well, let's just have a little swig of my hot chocolate, please. Ugh. Oh, that's very nice. Very nice. Colin Green. Oh, he's watching football there, the relegation battle. Paul Harrison, good evening. Seamus Doherty. Croatia is meant to be fantastic. Yeah, I never went to Croatia. I looked into that many years ago, just in the aftermath of the war out that way. But it was I was surprised how expensive the flights were then. And the thinking was that Croatia was surprisingly pricey for a country that was rebuilding itself. Never been there, so yeah, okay, sounds good. Brentel, good day, Eddie. New internet can't come fast enough. I'm off to, Brentel is here. Brentel is from Melbourne. He's been watching the channels for a long time. Brentel, good day, Eddie. New internet can't come fast enough, I bet. I'm off to Thailand in August. Oh, well, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. I hope you have a great time. Darren Drew is here. Good evening, Darren. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. And let me see. I can't wait for the internet. In fact, you know, I want to do things that I'd never, been able to do before with the lousy internet, because the internet was was very weak. I need a more up to date one. I've actually erected the green screen. So I've actually got I'm not using it now. I mean, I'm waiting until, there's no point. I'm waiting until everything, was up and running properly. But I've got ideas for the new. So good things are coming to this little channel. Promise you. AJ, as I heard, the old Yugoslavia area is lovely and cheap. I know apparently Yugoslavia in the 1980s, when I believe those countries were still communist, weren't they? Were still behind the Iron Curtain. I heard that it was, a lot of people were rushing there because apparently it was a really nice place and it was good value. And then all of a sudden in the 90s, it all went kind of pear-shaped, Never made it there. Yugoslavia, that's not a name that you very often know. I missed a boat on that one. Peter Blue, Eddie, how's it going? Nice to hear from you. Ivan, happy Labour Day, Eddie. In 4 weeks' time. Yeah, that's what it doesn't make the fairs to have something to do with, doesn't communism? Well, that's something to do with that. I can't remember the details, but it's it has something to do with that. Happy Labour Day. Because it was a new bank holiday, and they didn't have that around when I was a kid. I mean, they brought it in around about, it might have been 78. I think it was the first May Day in this country. Ivan, happy Labour Day. In 4 weeks, I'm in Bangkok, and in July the 1st, we'll be camping in Iceland, all planned out for the summer. Good for you, mate. Well, you sound like you've got a lively time ahead. Smooth operator, any ideas on your next trip to Pattaya? Will you go again this year? If I do, it will be very, very late in the year. Well, no, possibly. I don't know yet. I really don't know. I am missing Pattaya a little bit, but I just don't know. What I do think is that I think Thailand in general, during the low season, which we're now in, it's going to be a long and very, very poor low season for Thailand. I think it really, really will, because I think the main reason that people go to Thailand out of season is because they've seen a really, really good flight there, and they think it might be good value there. But there's not many cheap flights around nowadays. So I think they're in for a very, very long and not very prosperous low season. Peter Blue, internet's still playing up, mate. Yeah, it's rubbish. I mean, I've waited a long time. I mean, for about 5 weeks for the internet guy to come along and make things right. So that's why tomorrow, I want to make sure that it gets done and dusted. I'm getting fiber. My current internet is out of date, and I really hope it's all up and running. There won't be a stream tomorrow night because I don't think I'll have any internet. I think it gets switched on at 1 minute to midnight tomorrow. So I think Wednesday I'll probably do a stream and hopefully use the green. Well, let's just get the internet up and running first of all. I'm not building my hopes up. Anything can happen. Ricardo, Eddie, I can't believe it. Let me see here. Ricardo, I can't believe Devon currently has a hosepipe ban. With the sheer amount of rain we've had, it just has to be down to mismanagement. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's crazy. How can we have? Sometimes we have bloody floods in the winter and a drought in the summer. They don't look after these pipes. A lot of these, these drains, are well out of date there. It rains whenever I attempt to go out. I know that much. Capo 17, good evening, mate. Matthew Cartwright, nice to hear from you, mate. Ben Fern K, howdy, I'm going to put down the screen. That sounds bloody good. That sounds really, really good. Ben Fern K. Howdy, Steady Eddie from sunny Florida. That sounds really, really good. I would love to go to sunny Florida. I really, really would. And I've seen videos on Florida. And I'd love to go there. I really, really would. So good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Peter Blue. Peter Blue. Ever been to Sunny Beach? No, I miss Sunny Beach. I went to Bulgaria about 20 years ago. I went in the month of May. So no, I didn't. I went in the month of September, which I thought will still be nice weather there. But I was unlucky. I went into, a rainy patch. And I went to Varna on the Black Sea coast, but it was raining all the time. And, which is a bit, miserable. You know what I mean? A bit miserable. And I never actually made it to Sunny Beach simply because of the rain, but I wouldn't mind. Is it good? Is Sunny Beach really, really good? I'd like to hear from you. Sionaries, I was in Yugoslavia in 1980. Beautiful country. Yeah, I remember in the 1980s when people were going on holidays, people were like going to Spain or whatever. But all of a sudden, they wanted to go to Yugoslavia. It became the in place to go, didn't it? In the 1980s, But it's and then they had that terrible conflict, and now Yugoslavia is broken up into a variety of countries, and I hear some of them are really, really good. Ben Fernk. Let's not put this on the screen. It's easy to forget this. I haven't been watching that much of the news recently. Ben Fern K. Coronation Street of the King on Saturday. It seems like a strange day to have that, because I would have thought they'd take a weekday off, like a Wednesday, like they did with the royal weddings. Charles and Diane, and even Andrew, they took a day off for his wedding. When he married that, that red-headed trollop. I would have thought, a Wednesday would have been better because it would have meant more important, really. It would have meant more important that the king makes you take a day off work, whereas on Saturday most people will be off work anyway. So I'll watch it. I won't say I won't describe myself as a royalist, but yeah, I'm all for it. I like Charles. David Heisenberg, have you changed the show to Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday? Have you changed the Thursday to Wednesday, or was it a slip of the tongue? He said what it is. I mean, this isn't a show right now. This is a struggle. With the bad internet, I've been lucky to do anything really. It's only with the support of you guys who still kept tuning in. I've been lucky to do anything really with this lousy internet in the last month. I mean, the idea is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That was it. I may still do that, but I think moving it from 10 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock is not necessarily a bad move. But when I get the internet properly sorted over the next couple of days, then we'll make some solid arrangements anyway. Because I don't want to mess anyone around. But at the end of the day, I'm lucky to be doing anything really. With this lousy internet. AG, May the 1st is Workers' Day. Oh well, that's important then. Well, how come we're not working then on May the 1st? No, May the 1st, that's good. That's good. Oh, support the workers. Brian Street, nice today. I'm going to put Brian Street's comment on the screen. Brian Street, evening, Ed. Just tuned in, began watching the snooker, but know what they're doing. Cheers. Okay. Nice to hear from you, Brian. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, that's an incident. No, Brian came up with a good little Facebook post today, and a good little Facebook post, and I good little Facebook post today. We'll discuss it in a minute. We'll talk about it soon. It's a good little thing to talk about. Darren's I booked 3 weeks in Thailand. I could put that on the screen. Darren Drew has booked 3 weeks in Thailand in June. Can't wait. Okay. Good for you. June, that sounds like a good stuff, mate. Anyway, yeah, can't blame you. You're giving me ideas. Richard Palawak. Yeah. Okay. Richard Palawak. Good evening, Ed. Hope you're well. Congratulations on giving up the drink. Okay. Yeah, it's a month now. It's a whole month since I've had any alcohol, and I don't miss it at all. I don't miss the alcohol at all. It's out of my system. I am not an alcohol dependent anymore. I you know, I've got no alcohol at home, and I'm not panicking. I'm not climbing walls. I'm not suddenly thinking, oh, I need beer. I need a shot of, you know, rum. I need a bottle of rum. I need craving for it. No, it's out of my system now. It's out of my system. But you haven't heard the last of that, because I will be doing a few little videos on this channel, because the big question about giving up the booze is that what do you substitute it for? You've got to substitute it for something, because I mean, if you're watching a movie, I mean, who's going to watch a movie? Are you going to drink water? So that's quite a big subject. So I've actually been watching a few videos on healthy drinks, and some of them they look a little bit, you know, inconvenient. It's okay watching a video when they're adding herbs and all the kinds of stuff to it, but you're really going to be doing that every time you need a drink. But I will do a few little videos now, because it's an important. So I mean, that's the question, really. That's the big question: is that when you give up the alcohol, what do you replace it with? And it can be a controversial subject, because a lot of people say, you know, those diet colas and all that are not good for you. I mean, it seems like, you know, you're giving them one thing that's not good for you, and then people are telling you to give them, you know, you're replacing it with something that other people are telling you to give up, because that's not good for you either. So it's quite a big subject. That's why I will be doing some videos and that sort of stuff. Thanks anyway, Richard. What's this? What's this? Ed Sweeney's 20 stone wife back in England. Viewers are dropping for other YouTubers since they started charging people to subscribe. Plus, they got yeah. I'd tell you what. You know what? Why don't you do a video, Mrs.? Do a video yourself in a skimpy bikini and come and wobble your bits, and I'll show it. I'll show it. You know, I'll put an age restricted. I'll show it on here. Let's see. Nice to hear from you anyway. David Eisenberg, I see now where you mentioned Wednesday now. Is internet not official until midnight tomorrow? So hopefully this week it's Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Not so sure about Thursday. We may do that as a weekend. No, but I put no. Okay, yeah. Hopefully, if my internet's up and running by Wednesday, it won't be tomorrow, but it may well be by Wednesday. Then yeah, let's get it on. Let's get it on, baby. No, I better not sing Let's Get It On, because someone's being taken to court over that song. Someone's being taken to court. Ed Sheeran's been going to court, isn't he? Because they're saying his song sounds like, you know, it's all about, well, I don't think it sounds anything like it personally, but that's just my opinion. I do believe in fairies. I do in face. I'm whizzing off to. Everyone's bloody going somewhere except for me. I'm whizzing off to Poland tomorrow. Wizz Air, just free carry-on small bag. Wizz Air is good. I went to Romania with them. That's a Hungarian airline. Just free carry-on small bag. You got stung with a baggage fee with them, didn't you? Just free carry-on. No, I didn't get stung with a baggage fee. What I did get stung is that, you know, choosing the seat. They sent me an email saying, man, the flight was only about 37.5 quid to return from Luton to Bucharest. So it was very, very good value flight, but they charged me for selecting the seat. So it worked out overall about 80 quid or something like that, which is still very, or 90 quid, still very, very cheap anyway. but yeah, good for you, mate. Have a nice time. Let me see now. Okay, here we go. Who's this? Ivan, how about a Central European tour, Eddie, over the summer? Czechoslovakia. That's another country that doesn't really exist anymore. It's the Czech Republic or Slovakia. Czechoslovakia, Hungary, great cuisine history. Funnily enough, I've been to the Czech Republic. I wouldn't mind another little chat, but yeah, it sounds good, mate. I wouldn't real long time anything like that. Watch this space. Watch this space. Okay, yeah, I certainly wouldn't rule out anything like that. Thanks for that suggestion. I mean, the thing is, now that I've given up the booze, you know, I'm not in a rush to travel anywhere because, you know, I don't know how I'd cope with the you know, with being somewhere traveling and not having a beer. I'm not so sure that I'm ready for that just yet because it might be too. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I'll have to see how I feel about that. I'm off the beer now, and I think my next big aim, is to get properly fit. Now that I've given up the booze, I mentioned in that video that I made, the thing, you know, giving up the booze alone does not give you know make the weight drop off you and give you a lean body. It doesn't. But what it does do is that it frees you. It frees you to then go on a proper diet because you don't have the burden of alcohol. Yeah, I don't have to look at a certain diet and think, does this and can I have a beer with this or anything like that. I've got that on me. So now I feel free to start exploring other diets, and I really do want to lose. I've done a big step this year, massive step, by giving up the booze, and now I want to do the other step, actually getting lean and fit before I travel abroad again. So we'll see about that anyway. Yeah, big daddy. Let's see. Big daddy Rumpy. God save the king. Ed, you got a big weapon hiding down in your trousers. Well, whatever I've got, it's not bloody aimed at the king or Camilla anyway. So rest assured of that one. Peter Blue, my friend is in Thailand at the moment. Says it's bloody hot, over 40 Celsius. Yeah, I can imagine. It's also going into the rainy season right now. I once went to Thailand in the month of May because I got a cheap flight, a very good value flight there, which those kind of things are just not available right now. But I went to Thailand once in the month of May, and it rained. It rained almost all the time. I went to Pattaya, and I went to Koh Chang for a few days. Koh Chang for a few days. It bloody rained all. That was a waste of time. It just rained all the time. But yeah, okay. So you're 40 Celsius. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, I honestly, I switched my heating off last night. I switched it off, and it's not going to go on again. It's not going to go on until November, and for another 6 months. I mean, it seems strange. I mean, there's 4 seasons in a year, but it's not as if you get 3 months for each season. I think winter takes 6 months of the year, and the others are lucky to get a couple of months each. Jesus Christ. Paul Hoskin, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Let's see. Big time in 9/11. What is your favorite beach town, Southeast Asia? Well, I mean, I suppose favorite beach town. There's an irony here, isn't it? Because my favorite beach town is one where I never swim in the water there in the beach. I have a walk along the beach, but I don't swim. Of course, that's Pattaya. That's my favorite beach town because there's so much to it and there's so much to do, and it's over the top, and it's a good laugh, and it's fun, and it's full frontal, and it's no holds barred, and yeah, you know, and that's my favorite. Pattaya is my favorite beach town. But favorite beach town in Southeast Asia with a beach. I would have to think about that one. Well, I would have said in the olden days Sihanoukville. I would have said that's my favorite, but now it's gone down the Swanee River because it's all casinos, isn't it, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I'd have to say Pattaya is my favorite beach town, but I just don't really use the beach very much. David Heisenberg, lookalike Russell. I'll tell you what. Before I answer this one. before I answer this one, I'm going to grab another cup of hot chocolate. Oh, okay. So, David Heisenberg, Sunny Beach in Bulgaria is a 24-hour city with everything you want from theme bars to fairs, type rides, etc. Great restaurants at very good prices. As I was there for a week and enjoyed it 100%. Okay, good. I have actually heard mixed reviews about Sunny Beach, but yeah, if you enjoyed it. I never made it there. I was close by in Varna, but like I say, the rain killed everything. I mean, you know, for me. But yeah, well, thanks for that info anyway. Thanks for that info. I mean, 24-hour city, everything you want. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Paul Hoskin, the bar girls call me. Yeah, let's see, Paul. Yeah, Paul Hoskin. The bar girls call me Marlon Brando. Now, I kind of wonder, why did the bar girls call you Marlon Brando? Is that you make them an offer they can't refuse? Is that why it is? Please tell, Paul. Eason man, are you going to? Oh, here we go. It's Eason man. This is Eason man lives in Eason, and he has great information about a lot of things. Always good to hear from Eason man. Are you going? Okay. Okay. Let's talk at teensy weensy bit about this one. Eason man, are you going to stand to attention in your living room and swear your allegiance to King? Whoa, you never do. Are you? Do you know? So I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, let me see. Swearing allegiance, right? Now, this is something you do when you go into the army and probably the other military, because I've done it. I was in the territorial army for a very, very brief while, a very, very brief while. I was never in, we're never in the regulars or whatever. But being a soldier wasn't really for me. But I was in the territorial, but very, very brief while. This is what you do. You swear allegiance. When you agree to join the army, you get called into a room with this guy, I can't remember his rank or whatever, and I seem to recall, it was only there, only I think he was the only guy in the room really, and he holds something up and he says to you before you actually officially join the army, do you do you swear allegiance to protect the Queen? And put you and I forget the words, but it's something like put your life before the Queen or whatever. Basically, your aim is to protect the Queen. And you think to yourself, wait a minute, I've done some basic training and all this, and now it all comes down to protecting the Queen. Someone I'll probably never ever meet in my entire life. And basically, this is what it is with the King. I mean, you do this when you go into the military, but also they are asking people, everyone out there, to swear allegiance to the King. Basically, there's going to be a moment in that ceremony when they're going to say, all you people out there, stand up in your living room and swear allegiance to the King. Okay, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going because it'll be funny because when I live alone, okay, I live alone, you know, and basically, you know, but I haven't got a family around me, okay. But I can imagine that families who are together, families are not all harmonious in this day and age. I can imagine like a family, mum, dad, couple of teenagers, couple of kids, this sort of stuff. They're watching the world coronation. And then all of a sudden, one of the perhaps the mother or one of the teenage sons stands up and swears allegiance. All the others will laugh at him. What are you doing, you bloody prat? What are you? It reminds me a teensy weensy bit of that movie from the 70s called Network. Do you remember that one? Do you remember that one? And basically, Peter Finch is you know, goes off his head. He's a TV presenter. He goes off his head and he whips up some storm on TV. And basically, he comes to the screen on live television while these families are sitting there, and he says, "I want you all to go out in the street, open your windows, and say, 'I'm mad as hell, and I ain't gonna take it anymore.'" That's what Peter Finch says in this movie. And then, you know, and then I think it's the daughter. One of the daughters stands up, you know, and rushes out. And I think the father says, "You know, where are you going?" "Well, I'm just going to see if people are doing it out there." So I think really the idea of pledging allegiance in your own home, I think I'd more likely open the windows just to see if other people are doing it. It all sounds a bit bizarre, and it also sounds very, very dictatorial, dictator. It sounds dictator. Well, it makes you feel like a bit of a dick. That's what I feel like, a bit of a dick doing it. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I like Charlie, but I don't think that's really necessary. I don't think it's necessary. Thanks for asking that question, Esan, man. And nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Cats and Good Coffee. Hello, Steady Eddie Live. Oh, God, I feel better about that. Cats and Good Coffee. Steady Eddie Live and gentlemen. Sorry for not joining your live streams lately. I was in Thailand traveling around, and I am back in Europe now. Oh, good for you, mate. Good. Nice to hear from you. Cats and Good Coffee. Good. I trust you had a good time, mate, and you're continuing to have a good time. Good for you, mate. Christopher Tate. Evening, Eddie. I hope you are well. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. I'm a little bit right now. I'm a little bit building up the enthusiasm for healthy eating. Now, healthy eating. I'm going to throw all the junk out. You will see a lean body here in a few months' time. Well, okay, not exactly a six-pack, but you know, I'm getting there slowly getting there. I've gone one bit now, throwing the booze out, and the other bit about starting to eat it, because we do eat a lot of, well, I do eat a lot of junk as well. I'm throwing bit by bit all the junk out, because you only got one body and you've got to look after it. So I've achieved something by giving up the booze. If I can achieve the second part of it by getting in good shape, then you know that's quite an achievement. That's quite an achievement. Okay, so let's see. In Thailand till I die. Hello, evening, Eddie. I'm going to be. Let me see. Put this on the screen here. In Thailand till I die. Hello, evening. In Thailand till I die. Hello, evening, Eddie. If it's going to be a poor low season with tourists in Thailand, then why is this not being reflected of? Hello, evening. Let me see. It says, if it's going to be a poor low season with tourists in Thailand, why is this not being reflected in flight prices? Will we ever get back to the 500 price again? Well, one of the reasons I think it's going to be, there's no guarantee, this is just my opinion, but one of the reasons I think it'll be a poor low season is, as I said earlier, one of the reasons people go to Thailand in low season is because they may well have seen a flight that is such good value that it's irresistible. I once went to Thailand for that reason. I went in the month of May once. I went for that reason. I seen a flight and I thought, God, that looks cheap. I'm going there because of that. And Yeah, for that reason. But there are no flights. So I think it's because of the flights. It's because of the expensive flights that it's going to be a low season. That's going to be one of the reasons. And as for getting back to 500 quid a game, I don't think so. Not anytime soon. AJ, Ed, are you outside Walton Prison? Why do you want to escape? Do you want me to throw you the rope up to the window or something? Ricky, why would you go to Thailand in the summer? Why does anyone do anything? I mean, why am I drinking a cup of hot chocolate? You may as well ask, why would anyone do anything? It's still good fun. If you went to Thailand in the summertime, there's still some people like the low season. Some people like being the only guy there in the go-go bars and all that. There's still things happening there. Paul Hoskin, I need to lose weight. Paul Hoskin, I need to lose weight. We'll have to reduce how much butter I use. Well, that will help, mate. It will help. David Heisenberg, yeah, put this on the screen. This is a really, really good one, this. David Heisenberg, do not forget thumbs up for Eddie, guys and dolls. But okay, thank you. Thank you, David. Thumbs up, guys. It really does, put the, encourage YouTube to put the stream out there, even though, like, the internet's crap. And, but I'm just looking forward to the new internet, to be honest with you. There's a better, that green screen, that's good. It's going to be pretty good. I'm going to put things in the background. Cats and good coffee. Cats and good. Let's see now. Cats and good coffee. Cats and good coffee. I lost a few friends just because I do not drink much. I just get tired and sleepy at my age, so there's no point for me in drinking. Well, they can't be much bloody good friends anyway. And those kind of friends that you lost were the kind of blokes who were in the pub night and day and like they make you feel guilty because you're not showing your face at the pub, and they kind of been worth knowing anyway. I mean, that's why I don't go to the pub, because the regular pub goes just talk a lot of bollocks anyway, and the cost of booze in the pubs and they're just not worth it. In fact, I know pub goers who like going to pubs. You just don't bother anymore. It's too expensive. I know people who always went to the pub. They maybe even got a taxi to the pub, and I know people who do that, and they just you see them a while later, and you ask them how's it going. They say, I just don't go to the pub anymore, because it's just not fulfilling anymore. I think what made a difference there was about 15 years ago, wasn't it, when the smoking ban came in. That drove a lot of people out of the pubs, because a lot of the people thought, geez, I'm paying money for, to enjoy myself, relax, and smoking and all this, and I can't even have a smoke anymore. I have to stand outside. What's the bloody point? I mean, you pass some of these pubs. So it's some of these, shitty pubs, and you see guys and women standing outside the pub smoking. I wonder, just tell me, there's people here in this chat in America, and people in other countries, possibly Australia. Just tell me something. Do they do that in your country? Do you have pubs on the main road with busy traffic going past, and people standing outside the pub smoking? I mean, do you because we get that here. It just looks so scruffy. It looks so wrong, standing outside the pub smoking. They'd rather be in the pub, but it's just not worth it. Pubs are crap. They're a load of rubbish. Especially when you get used to going to those bars in Thailand, when all those lovely birds are all making a fuss over you. You know what I mean? Let's see, Ricky, sparkling water with a bit of OJ works for me. Good for you, mate. Borders by Coke Zero for me. Controversial. It's controversial, that, I'm going to do a video about that. I will. I'm going to do some little old videos, because this channel, I want to do a few videos about certain things. I am going to do a few little videos, and I think a lot of people may be interested in it, about certain diet things, because I picked up a little bit watching YouTube videos about watching stuff on alternatives to drink instead of beer, all this kind of stuff. I'll do a few little videos, but it also says that Coke Zero is controversial, not as straightforward as it seems. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. I'll get my bits out on cam, sure, no problem. I assume you'll be joining me. What do you think we're Sonny and Cher? Are we going to be the X certificate, version of Sonny and Cher or something? I don't think so, baby. Kiki and Jasmine, on the Trail of Love. Have ice cream in moderation. I do like a nice little ice cream. I never used to, but there's stuff to say about that. I'm going to do a few little videos about that. But I like it a Magnum, and I like a Cornetto. Just one Cornetto. I like a Cornetto and a nice little. I like a bit of that. Boxing 14, nice to have. Somebody got a haircut. Yeah, I done it myself. Done it myself. What do we call it? Boxing 14, Poland is really nice, really affordable for a European country. Well, I just went to Krakow. I went there on the stag do weekend. And Krakow, I went there in the month of August, and the temperature was fantastic and lovely, lovely. The old city, the square, beautiful. But I'm not so sure I like the attitude. I mean, you've got to be careful. Some of those people that can rip you off. There. I mean, you can get rid of very, very easily in that place. I know you're talking about Poland, not necessarily Krakow. Cats and good coffee. There is no non-alcoholic beer in any bar in Thailand. That's many times they always say they do not have that. I wouldn't be too keen. You're either going to drink beer or you're not going to drink beer. I've tasted non-alcoholic beer, and what everyone says, it just doesn't taste the same. Lovely stuff, beautiful stuff. Paul Hoskin. Fuel prices have come back down. Paul Hoskin saying fuel prices have come back down, but not the airfares. Well, fuel prices come back down. Well, a bit. It may have come down a bit because maybe they were at their height while I was abroad. I missed that, but not the airfares. No. I think it's because of the expensive airfares that people. Well, if people are going to pay an expensive price for an airfare, it's when they know that the weather's going to be good and when the time's right. I mean, they're not going to go, in a rainy season or something like that. I mean, it's just, but I can't see the prices getting any better anytime soon. Stephen Gamble, Prague is a lovely city. Okay, I've been to Prague. I once went there in the wintertime, about 25 years ago. And it does look like a lovely city, Cat and good coffee, too fat and too furious, okay. Ben Fern K, the king has sausage fingers. That's what he calls them. Why does he do that? So why does he do that? So he likes to shove a sausage. I'm not gonna get there. I'm not gonna get like that. Sean Harris, good evening, Sean. Nice to hear from you. Capo 17, maybe you should do weekends away vids in the UK. Maybe we'll see about that. I mean, would anyone be interested if I done an away vid on this channel or the other channel? I don't know, really. I don't know. AJ, don't eat late at night, Ed. If you feel hungry, eat some fruit. Well, see, fruit's full of sugar. I do have fruit. I like my fruit shakes, but one thing that I would struggle to give up, I do love the old Warburton's bread toast. I do love toast. I love toast. I love it. And I had some pate in the toast, and I had cheese on. I love toast. I'd struggle to give that up. But as for big meals, I think I'm going to start giving up the big meals, the roast dinners, because I haven't really enjoyed. I was bloody angry over the weekend. I got a chicken from the co-op, a medium-sized chicken, and it was still a couple of days, within its sell-by date. But I tell you what, it was bloody off. It was I just had one meal out and threw the rest of it away. I was angry at that. So I haven't. I'm gonna give the big meals, yeah, you know, and knock that on head, and just maybe have, you know, a few snacks. But I'd struggle to. I could give up the potatoes and chips, but one thing I couldn't. Oh, I do like bread. I do like Warburton's toast. You know what I mean? Let's see. Sean Harris. Sean Harris. Let me say no. Sean Harris. Ed, have you ever sported a beard or a moustache? Yeah, yeah. I had a moustache. I had a moustache when I was. It seemed like a young, trendy thing to do. You know, when you were a young man, like, you know, you grow a moustache, and people used to tell me as soon as I grew a moustache, it was about 22 then. People started saying I looked like Bob Carroll, geez, except he could never ever remember his name. He used to say to me, "Do you know what you look like? You look like that fella. What's his name now? Oh, the one with Spit the Dog." Yeah, Spit the. You look like Spit the Dog. That's what they used to say. Yeah, I had a moustache. Here we go. Here we go. John Mitch. Hi, Eddie. I'm back in Ireland after 2 months in Colombia. I had a great time. I had lots of horizontal aerobic instruction on the way. Very cheap, lovely. Oh, Jesus Christ. Good for you, mate. Anyway, hey, I'm back in Ireland after two months in Colombia. Good for you, mate. That sounds absolutely fantastic. He had lots of horizontal. Oh. Good for you, mate. Good for you. You know what you like and you know where to get it. That's all. You know, I'm really, really pleased for you, mate. I'm really pleased for you. Colombia, well, we'll have to consider it. Have to consider it. K-Pax, good evening, K-Pax. Nice to hear from you. That's it. He said, man, I can go back over 20 years and the cheapest Manchester to Bangkok return flights could get there with around 500. Really? I've never flown from Manchester. I've always flown to Bangkok from London, from Heathrow. But it seems to me about 20 odd years ago, more than 20 years ago, the flights were about 500, but then they stayed good value for many, many years, didn't they? I mean, they used to say years ago that the flight was the expensive bit about getting to Southeast Asia, but when you got there, it was really, really cheap. But the flights actually got better value. As Southeast Asia, Thailand got more expensive. The actual flights got a little bit cheaper. And I seem to recall about 20 years ago, or 18 years or something like that, I went to Thailand in the month of May, and I went on a Royal Jordanian airline. And it cost me, it was via a man in Jordan, and it cost me about 330 quid return. That's how cheap it was, and that's why I went there. I just couldn't resist that flight. So cheap. And Royal Jordanian Airways were really, really good. But now they've gone more and more expensive, and they look like they're only going one way now. Yeah, Legan. Yeah, Legan. Let me see, where's it gone? Yeah, Legan 5591. I had a friend of mine and I were thinking of coming to Duxford Battle of Britain Air Show. Both don't like the idea of driving over there. Any watches, or it's not that bad to drive? I'm not so sure where that is, to be honest with you. So I can't really help you with that. But I'm sure maybe some other people in the chat might know. Let's see. Category coffee. Good to know your experience going in May to town. I think it's a matter of luck. I think it's a terrible idea to visit Thailand during the months. It's rain. Well, it's a matter of luck. It's luck. I mean, it can rain like in the peak season, like December, January, February. But I mean, I think around about February tends to be the most reliable month with nice weather. But out of season, it can be luck. You might get some nice sunny days, but it might be rain. I think it's more a case of luck, really. Stephen Goodall. The king wishes his best mate Jimmy was still alive so he could have fixed things for his coronation. Oh, you naughty, naughty man. Nino, yeah, Nino. Nino, hey Eddie, have you already been to Laos? Yeah, I've been to Laos. I went there about 15 years ago. I'm planning to visit it for 2 weeks in December. Laos is a lovely country, lovely, you know, the slow boat through the Mekong, lovely. I didn't think that the people there were as characterful as what you get in the neighboring countries, the likes of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, of course. But nice country. No, I wouldn't mind visiting there again. Absolutely, good for you. Ricky, I live in Chinookville, Calgary. Okay. Okay, well, let's see. Paul Hoskin. I don't go to Thailand to sunbathe. That's it. There you go. I'll put that on the screen because that is concise and it is to the point, and that is very, very much Paul Hoskin. I don't go to Thailand to sunbathe. Good for you, Paul. A man who knows what he wants and he knows where to get it. Sean Harris, Sean Harris. May in Thailand is a bit of a wild card month for weather, a little like September in UK. Yeah, you could say that. I do believe in fairs. I've got my boarding pass already. I'll put that on the screen. Let's see. Am I behind with it? I think I am well behind with the chat here. I do believe in fairies. I've got my boarding pass already, but it's hard work clicking the right box to avoid paying for X's. If you leave it within 24 hours, there's a free automated seat option. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, okay. Sneaky buggers. Okay, no, this was told to me. Where are you talking about? Are you going to where are you going to? Eastern Europe somewhere? That's right. Well, when I booked my flight to Romania last year, I paid the bargain price. It was about 37.5 quid return. Absolutely amazing. Um, but they then made me pay for the seat options, booking the seat. But someone told me that if you leave it until 24 hours before, there's a free automated seat option. Yeah, I think I do recall something like that. Nino, I just answered that one. I think I'm behind with the chat here. Kiki and Jasmine. Kiki and Jasmine. Giving up the booze will enable you to upgrade your hotels 5-star all the way. I don't want to go into 5-star hotels. I know some friends of mine, stayed in a 5-star hotel in Bangkok, and they didn't know the city well, but they wanted to stay in a 5-star hotel. But then they realised that it was miles away from bloody anywhere, and it cost them, it was taking them about 40 minutes to get to where the action of a night time. So no, not for me, not for me. Stephen Gamble, I swore an allegiance to his mother and her heirs and successors. Okay, well, good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. David Eisman, and you can find naughty place from tote on the street or beachside, but I did not take that up. Are you talking about Sunny Beach there? You can find naughty place from totes on the street or beachside, but I did not want to take that up. Are you talking about Sunny Beach there? I haven't had the placement of that one yet. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get some questions soon. Anyway, here we go. Let's. Sean Harris, what comics did you read as a kid, and do you remember the small Commando booklets? I think the Commando books they were known as Boys Own, weren't they? Like, I liked the traditional comics. I liked the Beano and the Dandy and the Sparky. In fact, I think the Dandy came out of a Monday. The Beano was a Tuesday, and the Sparky was a Saturday. And I think they had another one. All of a sudden they started, making them bigger, didn't they? And Bigot. I think the Topper came out on a Wednesday. Yeah, they were great. Dennis the Menace, Minnie the Minx, Desperate Dan, the Bash Street Gang, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Kipax, what about the girls in your basement there? They would disagree with you. No, no. I watched the Beano and the Dandy. Paul Laskin, what's the Beano and the Dandy? I like the Beano and the Dandy. Cool. Boxing 14. Ed, why do you think divorce rates are increasing and marriage rates are decreasing? It's because men and women have discovered other things. I mean, they just, guys have discovered they can go to Southeast Asia and get a sexy woman half. A guy can get a sexy woman half his age. Women can go to countries, Middle Eastern countries, and find that you get a nice young gigolo like Lisa Dale does and all of this. I mean, why stay? It happened. Marriage, I don't know. I've got no interest at my stage in life. I've got no bloody interest in marriage. Definitely not. I mean, the idea of people are selfish. People also, it's very, very much a money society. I mean, people sometimes marry for money, and women, glamorous women, marry for money, and then when the money runs out, they go and bugger off and go somewhere else. I don't bother with any of that. Boxing 40, another US bank has collapsed. I reckon we're heading for a crazy few months until it all collapses. Well, just, you never know what's coming next year. You just don't know. David Heisenberg, I live alone as well. Those royals do not work like everyone, as they will never be out of money or electric, etc. We'll put this on the screen. Those roles do not work like everyone, as they will never be out of money or electric, etc. We all pay for them to live life at the top rate, etc. Well, I know. It's a big question that, about royalty. I mean, do they pay their way? It's all corny. I mean, it's our heritage, the royal family. I mean, that's the British heritage. I mean, a lot of tourists who come to this country, one of the first things they want to see is Buckingham Palace and the Tower of London. Foreigners do like the idea that we've still got a royal family, and they act as they act as statesmen. They go to other countries, they meet other rulers in other countries, they shake hands, they eat the finest meals, they fly on expensive jets and this kind of stuff. It's all corny, it's all a rip-off. But it works. And the royals probably do bring a lot more money into this country in terms of, what they stand for. They probably do. Richard O, I just started watching it. Oh, you're doing good. The weather is getting better. Well, I only just switched my heating off. Not long for 4K streams yet. Well, we'll see. Let's hope it. Let's hope it all works well. What's this? Boxable, Ed, what made you buy a property? And say, well, because it seemed like a good idea at the time. I mean, it's like all ideas, it probably wasn't, but Turkey's a beautiful country. Apart from the girls, I mean, it is a absolutely beautiful country with a beautiful climate. And I sold it because I got bored with it. That was the reason. It was a beautiful apartment, and it was huge place. And I just got bored with it, to be honest with you. Being there, done that. I wouldn't be in any rush to buy a property abroad ever again. Not really. Turkey seemed to be the best option at the time. But then the recession come along and things went pear-shaped and all this kind of stuff and didn't work out. Not a bad experience, but not a rocket to the moon either. Okay, so let's see. Let me just pull up Sean Harris, Julie Christie, or Britt Eklund in their prime. Let's see. What's this? What's this? Sean Harris, Julie Christie, or Britt Eklund in their prime. I don't know. I'd shagged a pair of them, to be honest with you. Let's say. Let's say. well, both of them are hot stuff, aren't they? Both of them are hot stuff. I suppose I think Britt Ekland's more exotic, though, isn't she? She was a tasty one, sweet. I think sweet isn't it? I think it's more exotic, really. Let's see. Boxing, Ed, let's just put this on the screen. Boxing 14. Ed, when do you recommend visiting Vietnam? Vietnam is got a curious climate because it's a very, very long, thin country, and it borders China to the north. And basically, if it has different seasons. I mean, if you're visiting Hanoi, you might be better visiting in our British summertime if you want nice weather, whereas the south will be kind of hot and wet around about that time. Whereas if you visit the South Vietnam in our winter time, then the south will be hot and dry, whereas the north might be a bit colder, really. But so it's got different climates for Vietnam. It depends where you're going, really. But it's a great country. If you've never been there, it's well worth a look. Sean Harris, Linda Carter or Babs Winder? Oh, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. Yeah, Linda Carter, definitely Wonder. Oh, gorgeous woman, absolutely gorgeous woman. Oh, looks so fit and healthy and strong, and I'd offer Linda Carter definitely. But I mean, she looks a whole lot healthier than I do. I'd have to say, Linda, I love you, baby, but you're going to have to do all the work because I'm just not that fit, to be honest with you. Let me see now. Bilbo Kelso, I don't want to get fit by a rowing machine or a cross trainer. Okay, I've got an exercise bike. Okay, I'll take it easy with that one first of all, because I do believe that losing weight it is at least 70% your diet. And exercise is still very, very important, of course, but diet is more important. 2/3 of it, of it is your diet. But that's for your info anyway. So now some people can be really lovely, but when they have an alcoholic drink, they become nasty. Yeah, some people are like that. Some people bastards are like that. No sympathy for them. No sympathy for them. They're called pissheads. That's what they're called. Let's see. Paul Oskin, I say to the bar girl, do you want a drink or 100 baht? They always take the 100 baht. They're not stupid, are they? Cats and cover. I always found funny how Chinese stand outside smoking and Indians. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just have a look at this. Cats and cover. I always found funny how Chinese stand outside smoking and an Indian taking a. That's a bit vulgar. That one. I'm not repeating that. Isan man. Let's see. We've been on for an hour now. Isan, have Thailand's go-go's now morphed into clip joints? A go-go started in the 60s, and are their days numbered? Are Thailand's go-go's? I think I hope not, because the go-go. So I've actually met some guys who say they actually hate the go-go, but I love them. I love them as long as they're the right ones. And some wonderful go-go bars in Pattaya, absolutely wonderful. I must admit, visiting Patong in Phuket, I mean, the quality of women was above. Some beautiful, their go-go bars are, some terrific go-go bars in Phuket, definitely. And the quality of women dancing natural, wonderful. Oh, yeah, absolutely wonderful. Phuket's got some classy women, really, really has. I hope the go-go bars never go out of fashion, because I like the go-go bars. Philip Morville, nice to have. Is 5G internet coming to your area? I don't know. They'll probably if 5G's, if anything's coming to my area, they'll probably bring it on a bloody horse and cart. That's how backward it is where I live. That's it. Richard, though, I used to love sitting in the bar in Surrey 7 in the afternoon, time with a couple of pals, drinking Lale and smoking LM6, listening to Dire Straits, people watching. Perfect afternoon. Okay, okay, that sounds good. I don't know how I'll feel personally, when I'm abroad and about drinking beer and whatever. I don't know how I'll feel then. I mean, right now I'm glad to be off the beer. I mean, I don't know how I'll feel when I'm abroad again. I just don't know. Cross that bridge when I come to it. David David Heisenberg. Yes, that is Harriet Harman from, I think, Labour, a non-smoker that done that, as I am a heavy smoker. And it's horrible as you miss shows or have to watch shows, then rush out for the smoke. Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to pay expensive money to go to a pub, I mean, if you want to smoke, you should be able to smoke. And if you don't like the smoking, you should leave, really. But, I mean, making people stand out. I mean, I've no sympathy for, I mean, and don't forget, it's been in the news for years. A lot of pubs are closing because they're running cost of extortion and there's less people going in them. I mean, all the pubs that are closing are rubbish. They're all rubbish. No sympathy for them. No sympathy for them at all. David Coleman, nice to hear from David. Glad you can make it. I do believe in fairness. Breast milk could be a nice alternative. Oh, that's a bit vulgar, there. Mark Ollig, good evening, Eddie. 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 Celsius, and lots of sunshine here in Minneapolis. Okay, good for you anyway. I mean, I was discussing earlier. I mean, why is it that there's 4 seasons in the year, and yeah, winter, is it takes up at least 6 months in Britain. But anyway, nice to hear from you, Mark. And that sounds nice. Sounds good to me, mate. Hope all's well. Let's see. Ben Fern K, you talking about Prince Charles? He has severe arthritis and his fingers are swollen, so he calls them sausage fingers. Okay, I didn't know that. Kipax. Are you giving up the men, Jetty? Never. I mean, I will. Little Eddie will rise again. Little Eddie will rise from the ashes. Right now, at this moment in time, I'm just getting into shape, physical shape. I mean, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to shag me. I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, it's like I'm just getting into shape right now, and the time, the time will come. Like little Eddie will rise again. He's risen before, like Dracula. He'll rise again. Let me see now. Let's see now. Okay. Where are we? David Heisenberg. Non-alcohol do not taste the same at the end of non-alcohol do not taste the same. At the end of the week, my long Elvis Presley holiday each year. I do not drink as I am the drivers. And if I get pulled, that is my car, bus, and coastlines and much. Absolutely. Oh, don't drink and drive. Don't do that, whatever you do, mate. Sean Harris, do you like to smear butter on your muffins and I don't eat muffins and crumpets, but I like Warburton's toast. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Sorry if I'm behind the time, a bit behind the time. Boxing 14, women are slowly becoming more and more masculine, and they don't realize how repulsive it is. Some men are also becoming quite feminine. Society's becoming strange. Yeah, that's the only answer. All I'll say to that is, yeah, you're right. On all points. Brian Street, stir fried meals is the way to go. Okay, thank you for that. David Coleman, I was going to buy a new gold coin, but already has the same face on it. The face of the late Queen is better. I like Charles. I like him. Hopefully, when the weather is good. So, no, what am I talking about? No. I didn't mean to say that. I meant when the coronation takes place. Should we do a live stream on the coronation day and whatever? On the screen or anything like that. Boxing 14, I quite like British cuisine, even though most foreigners dislike it. What's it? What do they expect? A spicy full English breakfast, pork pie and beans for me. Okay, good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Paul Laskin, British food is yummy. Okay, just going to skip through a little teensy weensy bit of this because fallen quite behind with the this is Monday. In case you just joined, I know that I uploaded a couple of videos which seems to be okay in terms of quality, but the my internet still hasn't been repaired yet. I can upload the videos to YouTube, but I cannot get a good signal on the internet. Doing a live stream. So there won't be a stream tomorrow because I don't think I'll have any internet. But assuming it all goes well, my new internet will be switched on at 1 minute to midnight tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll be bigger, brighter, and better than ever. Eason man, 500 quid 20 years ago has the spending power of around £1,000 today. Yeah, sounds about right. It sounds about right. Sounds about right. David Coleman, I can't put your comment on the screen, but yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to, as an English Canadian, I'm not swearing. Okay, fair enough. Absolutely. Paul Hoskin, I judge how good the holiday is by how long I'm in a hotel room with a bar girl. Good for you, mate. And a man who knows what he likes. Sean Harris. Sean Harris, let's have a little look at this. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where has that gone? Sean Harris, have you ever taken an internal flight in Thailand? I think only one actually. I went from Phuket. No, two. I done last year. I done Koh Samui to Bangkok, and this year Phuket to Bangkok, and they were quite reasonable. I mean, the worst bit about arriving at Bangkok, they went to Don Mueang Airport. The worst bit about arriving there was that long wait for the taxi at the other end. But yeah, it did seem to be weird. Air Asia is the way to go. Air Asia is good. Air Asia is good. Yeah, Farang Travels. Farang Travels. I was paying 580 20 years ago with Emirates next month. I paid 840 with Emirates. Pretty good, allowing for inflation. Okay. That's good. Well, good for you anyway. Capex, the world gone. Well, we've got to really talk about that. Let's see. David Coleman, Eddie, I heard that the police are finally starting to do a good job over there in England. What? Is that a bloody joke? They were told to cut out the woke BS. No, never mind the woke BS. Let them just cut out the BS. That's all I'll bloody say. Oh, there you go. I'll believe it when I see it. Paul Hoskin. There's a girl, she's 38, she's amazing, but her phone never stops vibrating, which is annoying. It's sure it's her phone that's vibrating, mate. And check on that one. David Coleman's having a thing with a Filipino woman in Toronto. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Sure, Alice, I think that it's only our society that believes we should be married. We're not meant to be with one person all our lives. Yeah, okay, fair, that's fair comment. But Boxing 14, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? Let's talk. Let's talk. Remind us of that one. Later. I've got another question coming up soon. But that's that's a good question. That's a good question. We'll talk about that maybe towards the end. David Eisman from Westwood. The band's is heavy metal type, doing 365. Okay, okay, I'm going to skip through this. David Coleman says he went on a Jack the Ripper walk in London about 10 years ago. Now, why on earth would anyone want to do that? I had a few pints of the 10 bells. I thought that Jack was right there. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, I like all that kind of stuff. I went to Dracula's castle, didn't I? Barry Harmon. I was there, missed a couple of dinners or you lose weight. There's got to be a little bit more to it than that, isn't it? Cats and good coffee. Cats and good coffee. 3 weeks ago, I met a Thai lady working on those massage places in Pattaya, and she told me the massage business is dead. Not many tourists want a massage anymore. Well, it depends who's giving the massage. You know, I mean, it doesn't it? It depends who's giving it. I mean, if a hot, sexy chick comes out and says, massage, yeah, and then starts getting all touchy-feely, as they do, massage, you might say, yeah, baby, why the hell not? You know what I mean? It depends what they're offering and what they look like. Kickbacks, I miss Windmill. A little bit. It's all right. It's good Windmill. I think it's not the best of the go-go bars. Yeah, it's not the best of the go-go bars. Kickbacks, anyone sees Eddie in Silent buying a beer. Yeah, not necessarily drinking beer right now. Don't know about that yet. Paul Hoskin, Fred Ware. Oh God, they're sick bastards, sick. But we don't want to talk about that. Philip Mulville. After 30 years of drinking daily, as you said, when and where did you make the decision to review the situation instead? I think when it was the last towards the end of the last traveling adventure, and when you're just drinking, all this afternoon and evening, and that beer, that Thai beer, Leo Singer, that horrible shank. I don't like it. I don't really like it. I thought this can't go on. I've got to do other things. I've got to knock this on the head. Really, I just can't go on like this. So I think that's when I returned back from the last travel, which is about 2 months ago. I think that's when I decided. I just got to do something. K-Pax, Mary Crowner, you're the real king. Okay. Let's see. Cats and coffee. Stay there, line. Please configure the max headroom back down someday. Mark, what's his name? Max Headroom was cool. I like Max Headroom. He was cool. Yeah, Mark Oleg. Cat and Coffee. Yes, I'm old. Remember, Max Headroom was in 1984, and I go back way before that. Yeah, Max Headroom was a late night chat show where he was like a robot. And he was interviewed some celebrities, didn't he? I remember he interviewed Jackie Collins and probably a few others. I used to like Max Headroom. Mister is here. Nice to hear from you. Okay, we're coming up to this. Michael Gineas is here. Even nice to hear from you, everyone. Yeah, let's see. Michael Gineas is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin. There was what was number one on the chart when you were 16? ABBA Mud. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna. It's a squeaky door time for a moment. Okay. So Paul Lawson, what was number one in the charts when he was 16? And ABBA, Mud. Oh, I would say in the charts when I turned 16 in 1978. I'd say it was somewhere between no, ABBA and Mud. They were ABBA was still in the charts. Mud had faded away by then. I'd say it was between punk rock and there were some bands like the Buzzcocks and the Stranglers, bands like that. And also 1978, there was an awful lot of the Saturday Night Fever stuff around then. Grease, Grease. The songs from Grease were in the charts as well. That was 78 was John Travolta year, remember, wasn't it? That's when he was always around. So somewhere between that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good coffee. Yeah. Mark Olive, does anyone remember Mitch Miller? I don't actually remember Mitch Miller. Don't actually, never heard that name. I never heard that one. Uh, Sean Harris, does anyone remember Euro Trash? Oh, I remember Euro Trash. I watched it for the titties and Full Throttles as well. I watched Euro Trash late Friday night. I watched it for all the full throttle ladies and all this kind of stuff. That's why I watched it. Okay, Sean Harris says good movies, but overrated in my opinion. The Search is Shawshank Redemption, Blues Brothers. Okay. So anyway, there's just yeah, Mark Alec. Yeah, Tony Manero was a pretty cool dude. Let's put down the screen. Tony Manero was the character played by John Travolta. I was with John Travolta. I actually loved the first Saturday Night Fever movie, and yet everyone I knew who watched it said they hated it. It was a massive success, but I hardly met anyone who said they liked it. But John Travolta, it wasn't the most spectacular movie, but it had a great soundtrack and a great soundtrack. And John Travolta, wow, what a charismatic. I mean, he had so much star quality. He was absolutely amazing, wasn't he? The first, absolutely. And don't forget about Saturday Night Fever. That movie, I think it was a 1977 movie. We got it in Britain in early part of 78. 78. That's when it came to the UK, and it was in the cinema, for God an eternity. Don't forget, at the beginning of 78, that's when Close Encounters was released, and it was released with a lot of publicity, as a Spielberg film would, and people predicting the Close Encounters was going to break the record set by Star Wars. It was going to be the biggest movie of all box office movie of all time and all that. And some months later, it emerged that Saturday Night Fever was the highest grossing movie of the year. And it even outstripped Close Encounters. Saturday Night Fever cost a fraction of what Close Encounters cost, but it actually made more money. So anyway, yeah, Tony Manero was cool. John Travolta was cool. Great star quality. Mark, I love the Bee Gees. Bee Gees songs in that movie too. Absolutely. Whatever you think about the Bee Gees, very, very talented. Very, very talented. That was great. Saturday Night Fever was wonderful. Rantalian, Eddie will have his internet sorted. Big up. Okay, I'm just going to go back because Ian Bowden's here. Okay? Nice to hear from you, Ian. Okay, I'll stop whinging about funding the roads. Must admit that we do pomp and ceremony to do us proud. I can actually see the other viewpoint. And at the end of the day, we're all a little bit hypocritical. And we all say that the royals get on our nerves, but if something really juicy happens, like Fergie getting the titties out and all this kind of stuff, we want to read about it. You know what I mean? We want to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Barry Harmon, have you any interest in Eurovision in Liverpool, laddie? Liverpool, the city that gave the world the Beatles, has now got the Eurovision Song Contest. Oh my God! Oh my God! I mean the Eurovision Song Contest, a good show, and what it is, it gets millions of views, and yet you never meet anyone who admits to watching it. Everyone you mentioned with Eurovision, did you see the Eurovision Song Contest last night? No, I don't watch that crap. It gets bloody millions of. I reckon there's millions of secret Eurovision watchers. They watch it. They just don't want to admit to watching it. You know what I mean? Like Margaret Thatcher. You never meet anyone who admitted to voting for Margaret Thatcher, and yet she won 3 bloody landslide elections. Okay? Saturday Night Fever, Michael Janaeus, Saturday Night Fever. Michael Janaeus, Saturday Night Fever made the Bee Gees megastars. Yeah. I mean, they've been around since the Bee Gees were a 60s band, weren't they? But then in the 70s, they sort of faded away. They became not very, very trendy. But it was that really brought them back, wasn't it, really? Oh, yeah, wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. Sure, now there were 2 versions of Saturday Night Fever, an X and a U certificate. Yeah, well, the X certificate was because it had a very, very obscene dialogue. And then a lot of younger people, seeing images of John Travolta on the TV, but then realized they couldn't watch the movie because it was an X certificate. But the sanitized version of it was just it didn't make sense, really. Mark Alec, I saw Close Encounters at the outdoor drive-in. Wow, I put that on the screen. That would have been an event. I'd like to have seen that. I mean, I've seen Close Encounters, but to actually watch it at an outdoor drive-in, now that sounds like a very American. I think I would have enjoyed that, definitely. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, mate. Mark Alex, Saturday Night Fever came out after I was already out of high school. I think that was the year that I left or got thrown out of school. I think it was. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Mark Alex says Pete Best was a good. Pete Best was a good drummer. The Beatles should have kept him. He was. I've never actually heard Pete Best drumming. But apparently, what was his name? I forgot his name now. The producer of the Beatles. His name slipped me, man. But apparently, he was the one who instigated saying, "I didn't like the drumming. I didn't like the drumming." And then basically they slagged down Pete Best. We had to tell him to leave the band and and all that. I don't think he had the personality of the other Beatles because when you see the 4 Beatles together, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, they're very, very much like they behave like typical bloody Scousers. Really, they're 4 lads together, and they have a kind of comic. Their comedies seem to gel together, and I think Pete. I just don't think he fitted in with them. I don't think he had the same sense of humour is what the others had. I don't think he. I don't really think he fitted in really well with them, with the others. Kippo Macmax, Eddie, that's why the polls always get it wrong in elections. Yeah, absolutely. The secret conservative voters and the secret Eurovision Song Contest watchers. Let's see. David Eisenberg. It looked funny and great. You walk through a brick wall as magicians need covers, etc. to do that, but you just walk through a brick wall. That's a close. It doesn't really. Okay. Cheers. It's not deliberate. Paul Hoskin. Paul Hoskin. Paul Hoskin had a few close encounters of their kind in Thailand. Did you really, Paul? Sounds bloody wonderful. That's okay. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Stephen Tutty mentioned West Side Story. Great musical. I think a bit dull. Not really not really not really my cup of tea, that one. I've heard of Mark Hollick. There's a backstory to that one. Really. Um, let's see. Okay. Issa Man. Yeah, what the backstory to Pete Best, to Pete Best. I heard like there was a rumor, wasn't it, that the other Beatles didn't like him because he was better looking than them. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that's what I heard. I heard something like that. Lester Bangs. Lester Bangs. Eurovision is like X Factor. You never hear of the winners again. You think it was mutually important the amount of publicity it gets. There's a different. I don't know. It's only really ABBA, isn't it? It's only really ABBA that you really heard of again in a big way. Okay. So anyway, Mark Holland, Best is still around. He's 81, and this Pete Best was on some American talk show. I don't know if it was at Letterman or whatever it was some years ago. And my God, you could tell he didn't share the Beatles' sense of humor. I think he told a funny story, and I put the word "funny story" in inverted commas, about when John Lennon painted painted his auntie's room. And the joke, the funny story was that John Lennon was supposed to paint the room matte, but instead he painted the room gloss. What was hilarious? That was the story that Pete. Oh God, that was the story that Pete Best told on a chat show. I thought, my God, no wonder he didn't fit in with the Beatles. At least the others were funny. Mark Alec, I saw Best. He gives a different reason for why they got rid of him. Yeah, well, I heard it's because he was better looking than them. That's what I heard. Even McCartney described him as sort of mean, moody, and magnificent. And Ringo may have been a better drummer, but he wasn't good looking, was he? Was he? Okay, so we're going to do a question here. Now, Brian Street posted something really good on Facebook today, which made me think, which is not something I do very often. Made me think about this. Okay, how about this? How about this? Now, Brian Street posted something about the Bermuda Triangle. Remember the Bermuda Triangle? That triangle where people just and planes sort of disappeared. Apparently you don't hear much about it anymore, about the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Well, I haven't. And also the idea of other conspiracy theories, unidentified flying objects, and some people really believe that they exist, and some people said no, they don't exist. There's certain conspiracies. So the question is, okay. The question is. No, that's not. I pressed the wrong bloody button there. Okay, there we go. There you go. So the question is, what conspiracy theories have faded away? I mean, there were all kinds of conspiracy theories years ago, which, I mean, nothing's ever come to them. Or what conspiracy theories do you miss? I seen a post the other day about UFOs. About UFOs in the 1950s, and people claim to have seen. I mean, I missed it. We grew up on theories like that. I'd love to believe in UFOs. I'd love to believe in them, but I mean, now, I mean, you just don't hear that. Nobody comes up with theories about UFOs anymore. Not really. And also the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, whatever happened to that? Nobody talks about these things anymore. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, Matthew. Matthew Carter says the Bermuda Triangle is when you get caught in the middle of two lady boys, and once you're in there, there is no turning back. Okay, that obviously comes from personal experience, Matthew. Mark Oleg, the Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster. I'd love to think of the Loch Ness. I love, Nessie. I mean, that was going around. I mean, apparently, if that Loch Ness Monster, existed, it was bloody old because, I mean, they were talking about it, for donkeys years before. But I'd love to believe in that one, the Loch Ness Monster. Really, really would. Yeah, Ben Fern K. They state that they try to avoid or boating around that area, the so-called Bermuda Triangle. They used to say that. They used to say that. But what was the theory? I heard some sort of bizarre things about the theory of that Bermuda Triangle. But nobody really talks about this anymore. It's like a forgotten theory, similar like the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, we grew up on these things, like UFOs, the Loch Ness Monster, the Bermuda. I kind of miss. There's a kind of an age of innocence sort of thing about stuff like that we don't seem to hear about anymore. Seamus Doherty. The theory that all world leaders are lizards. Funnily enough, that's more like a modern theory. That's one that I've heard in recent times. Didn't they say that the royal family of lizards? That's I don't know where that one came from. Paul Hoskin. They say the reason why ships and planes have disappeared is a huge plume of methane coming from the seabed. I heard it was something to do with dead animals. That's what I heard. Dead fish or dolphins or whatever they were I've heard something like that. But in recent times, I mean, ships and planes haven't disappeared. Your plane has got far more. Is far more likely to disappear or get shot down if it's going to Malaysia. These days, it's let's see, Kippo Macmax, the Loch Ness Monster. Ben Fenke, the funny thing is UFO, Loch Ness, Bigfoot, etc. There's never a clear picture with all the cameras that exist. Exactly. Well, this is what I never really understood about UFOs. And I seem to recall years ago, there were a lot of people who generally believed in them, genuinely believed in UFOs. What I could never understand is that this marvelously advanced flying saucer technology thing comes millions of light years. It comes all the way to planet Earth, shows itself to some drunk in a country lane somewhere, and then goes home again. That's what I've never really understood. It seems to be somebody, some old drunk or someone driving his car late at night somewhere who sees it. Why don't the rest of us see it? Sean Harris, JFK, Princess Diana, moon landing. Well, those are conspiracy theories. I mean, JFK. Yeah, the thing is with all of those, what all of those have got in common is that there's no one's ever come forward with any solid concrete evidence. And also if there was a conspiracy theory regarding all of those things. A conspiracy theory involves a lot of people to keep quiet. That really involves a lot of people to keep quiet. In the case of Princess Diana, a conspiracy theory that she was murdered, whatever. The thing is, if you're going to murder someone, a car crash is a bit of a hit and miss affair because you're not guaranteed to be successful with a car crash. I mean, don't forget, one of the occupants of that car actually lived. That was her bodyguard, was actually in the car, and he actually survived that crash. So it involves an awful lot of people to keep quiet. JFK, you know, it's never been proved, so perhaps we'll never ever know. And as for the moon landing, well, I believe the moon landing really took place. I don't think that's a good spin. We've actually talked about that on here, but I think that, you know, the moon landing, I think it really did take place. And, you know, I think science has probably done more amazing things since then, really. Mark Ollig. If anyone says we never walked on the moon, it was all filmed in a movie studio. No, because really, when you think about it, I mean, the idea, I mean, if a conspiracy theory says the moon landing never took place because it was so super advanced that man could never do anything like that. Don't forget, in the year that the moon landing, first moon landing took place, Concorde was flying. I mean, if man can build something as amazing as Concorde, I'm pretty sure that they can send a tin can to the moon. So I believe the moon landing really did take place. Sean Harris, alien abductions. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, years ago, you know, you seen documentaries about this, didn't you? About people who said they were abducted by aliens. All this. I mean, it's like as if all the fun's gone out of life. It was good fun watching a documentary about, about aliens. And I mean, there was a documentary many years ago. I can only vaguely recall it, but about this guy, like, you know, says that an alien woman came into his house and you know, had rumpy pumpy with him, and you know, I thought, well, it was probably Lisa Dale. It was probably Ed Sweeney's. It was probably my 20-stone wife who appears in the chat here. It was probably them. But all the fun has gone out of life, all the imagination. Let us believe in these things. You know what I mean? I want to believe in the Loch Ness monster. Kippo Makmak. Let's see. Kippo Makmak. A lot of conspiracy theories turns out to be true. They don't fade away. It's that the mainstream media stop reporting on them. Absolutely. Okay. Easterman, Ringo made the other three look good looking. Yeah, that's probably a good reason. That's probably a good enough reason. Let's see. What do we got here? Capo 17. Second JFK gunman was an inexperienced CIA man. Let us shot in the car behind JFK. Let us shot. It's massive, and it's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb, and they've never really found it. No one's ever proved anything. They've never found the answer, have they? Never really. David Coleman, George Martin, yeah, that was the manager of the that was the producer of the Beatles. Very important part, yeah. Let's see. Bermuda Triangle was known as having a magnetic pull from the deep water of the sea. Okay, but put that on there. Bermuda Triangle was known as having a magnetic pull from the deeper of the sea. Well, does it not have a magnetic pull anymore? You know, because it's not a magnetic pull anymore because you don't really hear about it anymore, do you? It's like the Bermuda Triangle is sort of disappeared up someone's rare end. Ricardo, the theory of what actually happened to Malaysian Airlines flight MH370, still no feasible explanation. Yeah, absolutely, but I think that was a one-off incident, wasn't it? Except for the other one where Malaysian Airlines was blown out of the sky because it was flying over a designated war zone. Seamus Doherty, this is a good point. Let's see. Yeah, Seamus Doherty, hopefully we look back on climate change as a big hoax. Okay. I'm not going to get into that right now, but that's a very good comment. Cats and good coffee. No one gives a shit about Area 51 anymore. Yeah, absolutely. I wish they did. Bring back the conspiracy theories. Let us all believe in flying saucers. Let us believe in the Loch Ness monster. You know, I mean, geez, we want something to believe in, something to be excited about. You know, let us believe in all of these things again. Mark Hollis, UAPs, they call them now here across the pond. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, Mark Hollis, what was Area 1 to 50? Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's it. I'll put that on the screen there. I'll put that on the screen. Mark, what was Area 1 to 50? Yeah, then that's interesting. If it was Area 51, that was the controversial one. Then what was Area 1 to 50? You know, let's start believing in life on other planets, and well, there probably is life on other planets, but let's believe in flying saucers and aliens and all this kind of stuff. Let's bring a bit of fun and a bit of excitement and adventure back into life. Paul Hoskin. If aliens landed on Earth, which country would they visit? They'd visit Britain, of course, because Britain's a soft touch. Britain will give them a hotel. It will give them meals. It will allow them to bring their wacky religion over here, and we'll even allow them to build their temples and all kinds of stuff that they want. And then we'll allow them to get together and plan to bomb us all. You know, if they don't come to Britain, of course, the biggest soft country on the bloody planet. Okay. David Martin. Paul McCartney died in 1960. Was that? I've never heard that conspiracy theory. Never heard that one. But there's a conspiracy theory. No one's mentioned this one. Yeah. Nobody's mentioned this one. Lester Bangs. Elvis is still alive and well, living in the Hartlepool. These were the 30s, weren't they? These were the 30s. You know, I met Elvis. He was on a bus. I was talking to him when he was on a bus. Elvis is not dead. He's still alive, and he's living in the Hartlepool and just about everywhere else. This is the theory. This is the theory that you don't hear anymore. But that went on for years, though. This is one. I don't know about this one. Let's see. N14, Ricardo, M8 had around 6 passengers on board. They were on their way to sell a patent when those 6 men died. The patent was okay. I never heard that one. I never heard that one before. Interesting. That's a little coffee says the Roswell incident. Mark Owen, people want to know. Absolutely. I want. We've allowed everything to become really, really dull and woke and politically correct and politics and all that. I want to see more documentaries about this sort of stuff. About flying saucers. I want to believe in them. Bilbo Kelso, what was the first thing the Beatles did when they made it? Got out of Liverpool. Okay, controversial, but whatever. Bilbo Kelso and the Bee Gees hated Saturday Night Fever. Is that a conspiracy theory? Was that a thing? I never ever heard that before. I think the Bee Gees love Saturday Night Fever. I think they love because they made so much money there. That album was the biggest selling album. One of the biggest selling albums was before until Michael Jackson's Thriller knocked it off the top, the top spot. Wonder 299. Diana said in advance she died in the crash. It was planned. Okay. Repair. Hollyoaks was a lie. Sean Adams' crazy theory is the flat Earth theory. I think that one was years before our time. I think you've got to go hundreds. I think that theory probably started when someone said the world is round. That's when the flat Earth people said it's flat. Mark Ollick. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in this. Marco, people saw the movie Capricorn 1, which is an excellent movie, Fake Mission to Mars in 1977, and then all the moon hoax BS began. Yeah, probably, I think it was, because I'd never heard the theory beforehand, but when that movie came out, which was an excellent movie, was it people like Elliot Gould and, all good people were in that. Excellent movie, that one. And I think that probably boosted the. I think really that's where it may have been where it came from. The fake moon landing theories. Ben K, they state that our current smartphones are better technology than any of the capsules that went to the moon. Yeah, going to the moon, I don't know. It still looks a bit primitive to me compared to some of the other things mankind has done. N14 Pelotas, the moon landing didn't take place. Look up Buzz. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't really say that. Rentalian. Rentalian, if it was real, why we've never been back there? Well, we have discussed this before. I mean, the Americans did go back on the moon, and they even drove a golf buggy on the moon. But really, because they've been there and done that, and not really came. It's a massive subject that it involves. There's probably enough technology available on the air to put bloody houses and all kinds of stuff on the moon. But it's massively expensive, and is it worth it at the end of the day? Really? I think after the moon, they wanted to conquer Mars, and we're still waiting for that to happen. Paul Oscar alien massage. Bilbo Kelso. Ed, was you one of the Beatles? You got out of Liverpool quick. I didn't get out of Liverpool quick. I stayed there far too long. London Cab Thailand. Nice to hear from you. Sean Harris. The Führer escaping to Argentina. Yeah, well, there's still people who believe that sort of stuff, but people believe that the other, nasty people that they went to Argentina and all. Yeah, there's. I don't think that's as much as a theory. I think there's a lot of truth in that one, but maybe it is a theory. Lester Banks, the pyramids were designed by fans in Toblerone. Okay, I've never heard that one before. Bloody good. That's like the moon is made of cheese theory. Repair shop, the first casualty of war is the truth. Okay, fair enough. Sean Harris. Bruce Lee had a few conspiracies about his death. Lots of conspiracies about Bruce Lee's death, wasn't there? Some people say he was killed by the Shaolin monks because he was giving too many secrets away, and there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, what I heard, and let me just think a little bit of this a minute. What I heard about Bruce Lee, and I think it's the definitive one. I think it came from Chuck Norris, who obviously knew him. What I heard is that Bruce Lee, before he became mega famous, he was in a gym, wasn't he? And he pulled his back out, lifting weights, and he had to take painkillers, and he was in a wheelchair for a very, very brief time. But then, after about a month, he miraculously got out of the wheelchair, but he was still taking these painkillers, and some years that when he hit the big time, I think he might have had a headache or whatever, and he took tablets, and they coincided with the other painkillers he was taking, and caused him to overdose. Really, I think that was according to Chuck Norris said something like that. I think that's probably the truth of it. David Coleman, I went sailing in the Bermuda Triangle when I was visiting the Bahamas. It was kind of crazy. Sounds very, very nice as well. If you're going to go on a nice place. Kippo Max. Kimbo Macmax, they said Iraq not have any weapons of mass destruction was a conspiracy. Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing. That was we went to war with Iraq, you know, and then they found they never had what we was looking for, what they were looking for. Sean Harris, 2010, a good movie is underrated. I've seen that movie. I've seen that movie. It's good. It's good. David Coleman. David Coleman. Jesus' real father was a Roman soldier. Well, you know, the theory, I think that's more believable than the theory that Jesus' mother was a virgin. Then that's the one that I don't bloody get. Number 14, Pebble, that we can't do stuff like that. Sean Harris, Mr. Blobby really exists. Okay. Eastern man, is that Sue Jimmy Page was involved in that? He's at Loch Ness. Loch Ness is a spooky place. Alistair Crowley had a house there, and then Jimmy Page bought it. I think it is owned by some trust now. That's interesting. I've got to go to Scotland one of these days. I've got to go to Scotland. I really, really have. See all the islands, all locks, and all that kind of stuff. Mark Alec, our universe is just one bubble in an infinite bubble bath. That's probably accurate, isn't it? I mean, there's probably vast planets and life out there that we'll never ever get around to seeing. N14, Billy Spears, yeah, okay. Area 51 is called for the state it is in, I think it was. Mark Alec, Paul is dead. I think I vaguely did hear something like that before, you know. Paul is dead. I did vaguely hear something like that about McCartney many years ago. Mark Alec says, I met Vesta Presley in 1978 at Graceland. He was living in a mansion at the time. Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's still that's a big tourist attraction. I'd love to visit that. I'd love to visit that. I'd love to see the movie, the recent movie of Elvis. I watched the first half of it when it was on the airplane, but I've never got around to seeing the second half of it. So I want to catch up with that one. Anyway, we've been on for 2 hours now. And thanks for your patience. I don't know how the internet is. Let me just see a minute. Where are I now? Why is that gone off the screen? Oh, it's back. It's back. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because we've been on for 2 hours now anyway. And apologies I missed it. We had a big response, you know. Michael Janaeus, the pyramids were built by aliens. That's a good one. Okay. So still a lot of people in the chat. Heavens above. Mark Alec. That sounds good. Come to America. We'll go to Graceland, Tucson, and Hollywood. I'd like to see all of that. One of these days. It sounds good to me. I've got a friend who's going to New Orleans and South next year. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so we'll keep in touch over that. Definitely. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, McLaren F1's made an appearance. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so anyway, Mark Alec, Vegas, Cats and Good Coffee, legal. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to sign off now because I've been on for 2 hours. It's gone, and I don't know how the internet is. So just to rehash, tomorrow there won't be any stream because I think I'm hoping the internet man's going to be around there. And at 1 minute to midnight tomorrow night, I'll have my new internet all switched on and up and running. So there won't be any internet tomorrow, but Wednesday, I'm going to make an appearance on Wednesday, and hopefully it will be bigger, brighter, better than ever. And even the new green screen that I've erected will be making its debut. Okay, so thanks to everybody. Thanks to everyone. Have a lovely Wednesday. No, sorry, have a lovely Tuesday. Thanks for coming along tonight. It's been heaps of fun. I'm going to have a late night snack, go to bed, hopefully catch the internet man tomorrow. And I'll be back on Wednesday at about 9 o'clock. Okay. Cheers, guys. Have a lovely Tuesday.